Welcome back, chaps, and I can't believe I'm going to be saying this. It's the last section. We've come to the end. We've still got loads of loveliness to show you in DAX, but I just can't believe it. Anyway, right, so we're here at Group Work 10 and we're going to be having a look at the all function that complements calculate beautifully. So we're going to have a look at all used in conjunction with calculate. They work so beautifully together to produce ratios for us, guys. Now you may be thinking, well, I can build ratios in regular pivots. You know, what's so hot about that? What's so great, Jill? But you can only build those ratios in regular Excel pivot tables in the context of that pivot table. What I'm going to show you is how you can create portable measures that you can drop into any pivot table. Yeah, really, guys, you can create portable ratio measures that you can drop into any pivot. Then we'll be focusing again on presentation. We'll be looking at slicers. I'm going to give you a couple of hints and tips about using slicers, and we'll have a look again at some conditional formatting. You may be thinking, what's the big deal? But really, guys, our objective here is what's going on in the background to create those fabulous reports for our end users, for our stakeholders. Eventually we'll be bringing all of this great data together to present in dashboards, and with slices and conditional formatting you really bring your data alive and your end users will love you for it. So with that, wrapping up our objectives for Group Work 10, let's get on with it, and I'll see you in the next exercise. Hello everyone, so we're on Group Work 10 and we're looking at the all function and combining it or utilising it in the calculate function. So our objective is to calculate the percentage of a total and produce a ratio. So as demonstrated in previous exercises, the calculate function can be combined with other DAX functions. As we've seen, we use the date function and the month function in Group Work 9. But in this exercise, the all function is introduced and enables the convenience of creating ratios as an explicit calculation. Now, we talked about implicit and explicit calculations previously. Now, ratios have been around in pivot tables for a long time. However, having them defined as a measure, a portable measure, an explicit measure available for us to use at any time in any pivot is genius, guys. So we've been asked to insert a new pivot into a new worksheet. So I'm going to take a different approach. I'm going to add a new worksheet, select B7 and insert pivot table and its existing sheet B7. Okay, perfect. And just rename this Group Work 10. So from the sales table we want month. There it is, and we're going to drop that into the rows drop zone, and then total sales from our sales table. Now before we go any further, can I just refresh your memory and take you back to, I think it was Group Work 6, or it's the practice exercise 6. And what we had here was the total sales, and we created the net sales total measure, and then we divided total sales and net sales to get us our profit, which is perfect, absolutely great. Now at this point we could add a slicer, or a yearly slicer. So let's just move that down and let's type in year, and I'm going to add a slicer. I'll just increase those columns as well so that we can have a look. Currently it's the total sales spanning all 4 years from 2001 to 2004, but with the aid of our slicer now the figures change and it pertains only to the selected year. Great, makes a load of sense, that's absolutely perfect, just what we want. So if we hop back to group work 10, this is effectively our objective, that we now want to display a percentage of the grand total, a monthly percentage of our grand total, and have it displayed next to the monthly total sales. But we've got a problem, guys, because unlike in practice exercise 6, what equivalent column of data can we divide to produce the percentage calculation or the percentage figure? We can't drop total sales in because it will just be dividing by itself. What we really need is a static value of the grand total. Hope that makes sense, guys. So let me do it manually and hopefully that will clarify it a little bit better. So our grand total is 29,358,677. Okay, and hit enter. Actually, while I'm here, let's just get rid of those 2 decimal places. So Power Pivot measures, manage measures, and it's total sales. And we'll edit, and here's our 2 decimal places, and OK. And again, remember guys, learning opportunity, that because it's a measure and we've changed it, it will have a ripple effect through all of our calculations. Perfect. So back in hand. There we go. I'll just double click and then that sends it, it auto fills it all the way down. And we'll reference the cells. So it's going to be C8 divided by D8. And then if we put some formatting on that and to 1 decimal place, and we'll just double click and send that all the way down. Perfect. So that's really what we want. So that's our static total sales, and that's our percentage. And that's looking pretty healthy. That's really what we want. But how do we achieve that? How do we get that static value in here that enables us to carry out the calculation that will give us the percentage? The other thing to bear in mind here is that what we're currently looking at is January through to December, but for all 4 years. Our data model has data ranging from 2001 through to 2004. So let's take October for example. That's going to be for 4 Octobers, that figure, from 2001 through to 2004. Let's add a slicer, the year slicer. And again, I'll just pop it up the top. I won't be too precious about the positioning. Okay, so at the moment we've got 100% down here, and that's what we'd expect. But if we start selecting now, it goes down to, guys, remember we've only got these months. We started selling, as it were, in July of 2001. So that's the percentage value of the total sales. We don't want that. We want the sales as 100% of 2001. Then we want the percentages, again, it's an overall of our overall total sales, which is 29 million, but that is for years 2001 to 2004. The sales figure for just 2002 is that, so we want this to be 100%, and for these percentages to reflect that this is October of this year. What's the percentage of October for 2002? So that's the problem we face, chaps. How do we create a static total sales figure that lends itself for us to create those ratios? So chaps, really what we're trying to achieve is this. Okay, so we've got our total sales, we've got the percentage of all monthly sales, and this figure at the bottom is 100%. So currently on my slicer all years are selected, but if I choose 2001, then we've got the percentages at 100% of the monthly sales for just the year 2001 and 2002, 2003 and 2004. So that's what we're trying to achieve, and in the next video lecture I'm going to show you exactly how to do it with the all function. I'll see you there.